guys? Brooks Warren from Hear Me Out Entertainment, Sports Pulse, and the Press Box Online. I am your friendly local sports journalist, just trying to put you guys onto some different news that's been going on within the ESPN, all those different things. I just wanted to give you guys a quick reaction to what's going on with Dallas Mavericks and the NBA. As reported yesterday on ESPN, The Athletic, a bunch of different sports outlets, they were reporting how Mark Cuban made it known that throughout this whole season, he has not been playing the national anthem at all during home games. And, this isn't necessarily a very surprising report from him, just because, we know that the guy, since last year, he wanted to donate some money to American Airlines Center workers. That's his building that the Mavericks play that he wanted to give away money to these people, make sure that they were okay during the pandemic. Of course, these people weren't able to work at all, so the money went a long way. Back in 2017, he was a vocal supporter of protesting, and he even got into a spat with Donald Trump and with not with Mark Cuban, but with Ted Cruz in Texas, just about protesting and giving quote-unquote respect to the flag. And the guy's been consistent, which is the most important part. And before I even say anything else about what the original issue is, I'm going to read you what he said here. According to Forbes.com, when he was a guest on Caron Butler's hashtag NBA Voices, all this talk about the flag and the kneeling got me thinking of the Pledge of Allegiance. We all said that pledge growing up in the United States, Cuban said, and going back to it, liberty and justice for all. That's what this flag is supposed to be for all of us. And so when people kneel, when people stand up and protest, it's specifically what we pledge to do our entire lives at school. It's a part of the reason why Cuban went on ESPN last week and said that the NBA should change the nearly 40-year rule that players needed to respectfully stand for the national anthem. Liberty and justice for all is a major reason for these protests in the first place, Cuban said. When people chant no justice, no peace, to me that's what they mean. That's what I hear. And when people kneel, they're not turning away from the flag, they're towards the flag and pushing for justice for all. Like any other movement, Cuban expects Black Lives Matter to face setbacks and adversity along the way. He told Butler his experience during the Civil Rights era. Though he was too young to know what was going on, Cuban recounted how his Uncle Larry, a superintendent in a Washington, D.C. school district, taught him about the struggles that movement faced along the way. Progress is never perfect, and big progress is never pretty. It's often painful, and so there's pain associated with it. These people really need to be dealt with by law enforcement fairly, he said. But I'm a huge fan of protests. I participated. I brought my family because that gets people thinking. So, with all that being said, fast forward to today, and once again, man, these people in power, these richer guys, these guys that really own the NBA, of course, NFL, whatever sports corporation you want to call it, they got word of what was going on and decided we can't have that. And that's exactly what happened, man. The NBA responded to this by telling Mark Cuban to stand down and you're gonna do the anthem once again. So, as reported by ESPN today, actually, Wednesday, February 10th, with NBA teams, this is what they were said in a statement. With NBA teams now in the process of welcoming fans back into their arenas, all teams will play the national anthem in keeping with long-standing league policy, the NBA said in a statement. And just for some further background, it's been a rule for about 40 years now for NBA players to stand up, keep their hand on their heart and not say the national anthem, but stand for the national anthem. And of course, after the George Floyd protests, people have been pushing for that rule to be abolished, to be getting rid of, because players wanted to kneel, players wanted to protest in some sort of fashion, and even during the bubble, right, there was kind of what you could call controlled opposition. You know, they allowed players to kneel during the protest. They allowed players to wear certain messages on their jerseys. But the key word there is certain messages. They weren't able to say how they really felt, right? John Morant, I think he, don't quote me on this, but he wanted to wear something about F the police, right? Obviously, you can't do that, especially in a southern city like Memphis, where I'm sure that they are very back to blue over there. So, you know, and he even got some backlash because of it, and he had to apologize. So, you know, it's the NBA is proving that they're. That was my dog, y'all. The NBA has proven that they have the image of being a progressive league, but they're not necessarily all the way with it. They're not going to necessarily piss off the people that are the powers that be, you could say. With that being said, Mark Cuban, in a corresponding statement today, Wednesday, February 10th, said, "We respect and always have respected the passion people have for the anthem in our country. But we also loudly hear the voices of those who feel that the anthem does not represent them. We feel that their voices need to be respected and heard because they have not been. Going forward, our hope is that the people will take the same passion they have for this issue and apply the same amount of energy to listen to those who feel differently from them. Only then we can move forward and have courageous conversations and move this country forward and find what unites us." Yeah, guys, it's a very interesting situation going on here with the NBA and the Mavs. Once again, the only reason why this even became an issue was because Mark Cuban put it out there, right, that he wasn't having the team stand for the anthem. You know, he didn't care that he was upsetting people, especially because fans weren't allowed in the building. And now we have a situation going around countrywide where cities and states are allowing fans to get back in, and you know, they don't want to upset that certain core of fans that want to see that quote-unquote patriotism being shown, respect quote-unquote for the country. Me personally, I don't think you need to play the national anthem in order to have love for the country. You know, you don't even need to do it at a game. And that only became a thing really within the last 20 years or so, you know, probably post 9/11. You know, and that's not a controversial statement at all. Like, and I think that's pretty obvious to anybody who's really thinking about it. And you know, they don't want you to be disrespectful of the country, quote unquote disrespectful of the country. But you know, dissent is important. Being able to voice your disagreements is important. You can't get rid of people with just a wipe of your, I can't snap, but you can't just get rid of people just any way you want to, because you do that, you end up radicalizing people, and then they become even more ingrained into their beliefs, and that's not what we want. We want people to want to have conversations. We want to change people. If you can change somebody every day, that's important. You don't want to just leave them by the wayside. You know, make a compelling argument, be empathetic, and you know, change who you can change. And if you can't change everybody, that's okay, because you know, we live in a country where not everybody's gonna agree, and that's the most important thing, man. And you know, if you watch Social Dilemma, I believe, on Netflix, you know, we know that Google, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, they all have algorithms designed to basically cater what you see based on like what you research, what you look at every day. So if I'm looking at liberal stuff, I'm looking at hard left stuff, then of course I'm gonna see that more often. If I'm looking at conservative stuff every day, I'm gonna see that it's gonna escalate further and further and further until I'm doing something crazy that I normally wouldn't have done even this year or last year alone. So yeah, just be careful. I want to know what you guys think about this. You know, comment, subscribe, like, definitely subscribe to HMO, definitely subscribe to Frank Analysis, subscribe to the Hot Media. Do whatever you have to stay tuned to this type of content, because we will be continuing to cover these things. And we are out. Bang! My guy or gal, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and share this video for the latest on sports, progressive politics, and pop culture. Slap!